Hey everybody, it's Tony.
Hi everyone in Sage.
Listen, we just want to send you a message of truth in the midst of all this uncertainty and fear. You know, the beautiful gift of being human is that we're resilient as a species and we're really adaptable in our nature. Life doesn't always get easier. In fact, it rarely does. But we're often called to become stronger and more resilient, and this is one of those times. Nothing's ever wiped us out. We're part of the essence of life itself. When we quiet our mind, we start to recognize the miracle of life within us. And ironically, what we really need is usually just below the surface of our fears. So the question is, how do we make our way through these uncertain times? And the answer, of course, is we must use our God-given power of faith. This is not a religious statement. It's simply a statement of understanding our true nature. Look, we're all born with faith. We don't have to learn faith because the truth is we couldn't function without it. I mean, think about it. Basic things you do every day. How do you drive down a highway with nothing but a painted yellow line dividing you from crazy people in cars that are hurtling headfirst to you at 65 or 70 miles an hour? And you know that every single day people cross that line and they kill innocent people just like you and I. We all know that some percentage of those drivers are drunk, some are not going to be paying attention, they're texting, some might actually be falling asleep. So we know the facts. The facts are every single day this happens and people are killed. In fact, 1.4 million people will die this year in car accidents around the world. That's more than 3,200 people a day. That's like a 9/11 every single day around the world. And yet, we still drive. We're not shutting down driving. We're not saying, oh my God, we can't drive. Let's keep everybody from driving to try and keep those numbers down. Why? Because we have faith. That doesn't mean that we don't work and be smart. It doesn't mean we don't prepare ourselves. It doesn't mean we don't do what's necessary. But you know what? All of us inside know that this faith is required for life to be fulfilling, for life to move forward. Listen, without it, you can't leave the house. So why do we drive our cars? Why don't we just stay home? Because we know the consequences of not leaving the house is to have no life. No faith equals no life. We know being stuck or frozen in fear is not an option. So what do? We choose to move forward. We choose to be certain in the face of uncertainty. That's what faith is. We choose to have faith. And you know that at our core, we're more than anything we'll ever face. We know this. We know we can handle whatever life brings to us. We always have and we always will. That is the power of the human race. We don't let the possibility of challenges or pain in the future keep us from living our lives today and working to build a better tomorrow. And you know what else? It's possible to transfer your certainty when you grab it and activate it to other human beings and help them. It's also possible to produce uncertainty and unnerve them. It comes through in our voice. It comes through in our physical presence. In fact, you don't have to be in someone's physical presence. They can hear your voice from a distance on an audio and a voice message. They can see it in our face. They can feel it in our thoughts. They can notice it in our writing, in our emails, in our texts, in everything we're a part of. Why? Because human conviction has a viral effect. It spreads from one individual to another. We all affected. You can see this with infectious laughter. You get somebody who's laughing their tail off, even if you're not feeling that way. After a while, it's like stop and you start to laugh. Or maybe you've been in a room, somebody starts to yawn. In a few minutes, 2 or 3 other people are yawning. Stop yawning. And we see it in the stock market. Whether it's running up or tumbling down, there's a herd mentality in most human beings. When we're uncertain, we look to other people to figure out what to do. That's what most people do. But that's not what leaders do. Leaders produce certainty within themselves. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have a 2-million-year-old brain. I do too. We all do. And it's our survival instinct that gets triggered by these fearful and uncertain moments. Now, what should we do to protect ourselves? Do we freeze or do we fight? Do we give up or push forward? We either lift each other up or we drag each other down by our level of certainty or lack thereof. You know what? It's all a choice. So today, maybe it's time we become conscious, you become conscious of your power and remind yourself and those around you that the human race is resilient, it's flexible, it's strong beyond imagination. That doesn't mean we don't educate ourselves and prepare ourselves or train ourselves for challenges. Of course we do. Anticipation is power. It just means we need to discipline our fears. And every day we got to stand guard at the door of our own minds. We can't just let anything in. And we don't let ourselves overreact or give things a magnified meaning or an exaggerated risk that puts you in a state of such fear that you only think of the worst case scenario. If you only think of the worst case scenario, you'll do nothing. So those who constantly look at the worst case scenario often will say, but I'm just doing it to protect people. No, you're taking people down. First of all, the worst case scenario almost never happens. And second of all, when you constantly focus on it, it affects you and it affects the people around you. It depresses people's minds, their emotions. It can even depress their immune system. So listen, today is a chance for you to start brand new, to step out of the fear that the natural human instinct, don't get me wrong, it is our natural instinct to protect ourselves, to do what's necessary in the moment, to look out for ourselves. But we're more than our instincts. We have consciousness. We have the ability to choose. We don't have to live in fear and picture the worst scenario. That doesn't serve, that doesn't create a way to live your life, and it certainly won't help anybody that you love. So today, lead, don't follow. Lead with the truth of our essence, that faith and certainty are our natural birthright, and our infinite abilities. At any moment, we can awaken that faith, we can activate it. So live the truth today and show everyone around you that we can solve any problem we face. The human race always has, and it always will.
Thank you, Tone. During these times, it's important for us all to be reminded that life circumstances are meant for us to be experienced, and that there's grace amongst the chaos. The grace of us uniting and coming together and looking out for each other and serving and loving and supporting each other and those of us in need. You know, there's many stories of fear out there in the media right now, but there's also many beautiful stories. You know, a friend of mine the other day sent me a clip, and it was of this family in Italy. They started to play a guitar, and another one started to sing and to create music, even though they were quarantined. Through that music, they brought harmony, they brought joy, they brought light to each other. It's a beautiful thing of the human spirit. We as humans are one of the most complex, powerful, intelligent systems ever created, more brilliant than we could ever even understand. Is what most of us don't realize is that we don't only have a physical immune system, we also have a spiritual and emotional immune system that supports us as well. Throughout all of life, we're all called to adapt and find kinder ways to evolve emotionally, and that allows us to deal with external circumstances with more grace. As long as we don't get stuck living in our minds in fear. Our power right now is to have our own clarity of mind rather than getting pulled into the group mind of fear alone. You know, during these uncertain times of social distancing, it's also a gift to remember that we're all interconnected, whether we're in proximity or not. We all affect each other at every level, and we're truly one. You know, we're all being called right now to unite together, and as we do, we are truly collectively greater than any challenge that comes our way.
So our core message to you is don't let fear control you. Do what you need to do to keep yourself healthy and strong. Look out for those you love and those you meet. Take advantage of this time to be together. Take a breath and connect. And just remember, we're not weak. Our immune systems have evolved over millions of years, and we as human beings have the capacity to deal with anything that's put in front of us. So live strong, live with faith, live with passion, be well, and God bless.